guys, I'm finally here to talk to you about my newborn must-haves. Before I get started, there are a few things on this list that we no longer have because either we borrowed them from someone or Cole grew out of them and I've passed them on to somebody that can use them. Another thing I want to say is we're breastfeeding, so one of these items won't apply to you if you're not going to breastfeed your baby. And the rest of it is that, you know, every baby's different, so what works for us might not work for you. So these are just things that we really like that helped us get through this newborn stage fairly unscathed. And it's crazy to think that most of this stuff we don't really use anymore, but they were lifesavers for that period in our life. So let's just get started. The very first thing is something we do actually still use, and that is our Boppy pillow. This thing, you know, I thought when we registered that maybe this was overrated. Some people say they don't use them, they just use regular pillows. But I love my Boppy pillow. We bought ours when Target had a special for if you bought the pillow, you got a free cover. So that's where this cover came from. I have an extra one that I got at my baby shower. Some people will tell you to get the free pillows that they offer online. You'll see the coupons floating around in like pregnancy magazines and stuff. And I got one of those from a friend. So let me just show you the difference. This is the Boppy pillow, and this is the free nursing pillow. This one's much smaller. This one is very much thicker and bigger. So I prefer the Boppy. I've used this in the car. It's nice because it's not as big. And he can like lean on this one and prop on the floor, no problem. But for nursing, I love this one. We still use it. It has a little tag that will tell you how you can use it all the way through 6 months for propping. So nursing, propping, tummy time, and then sitting. We love the Boppy pillow. We still use it. I highly recommend it. The second item are zip-up cotton pajamas. These are a pair that he's in now. They're 9 months. These happen to be Carter's brand. But they don't have to be Carter's brand. We just have all Carter's brand because we like them. And these are our rocket ship ones. I have a thing for rocket ship pajamas. These are 9-month pajamas. But we've used them since he was a newborn. The newborn ones have the fold-over mittens. Excuse Cole, he is in his exercise having fun over there, aren't you? So, zip-up pajamas are the must. We had some button ones. We ended up putting them in a bin and never using them because it's just so much easier, especially for Dad, to pop him in these and zip it right up, especially if he's fussy. You're not messing with buttons. So that is our favorite. Okay, the next thing is definitely a breastfeeding item. Early on, I had cracked nipples because I didn't know what I was doing and he was learning how to latch. And these Lancino Soothies gel pads were lifesavers. Let me tell you, they're $8 for a box, but I would pay that over again for these things. You can pop them in the refrigerator and get them nice and cold and put them on, and they feel like heaven. Nursing for the first probably 6 weeks was really difficult, and these things helped me get through it. I did buy the Lancino lanolin cream, and it's okay sort of as a preventative, but when you're healing cracked nipples, these things are the best. So I highly recommend these for nursing moms. The next thing on my list is the bassinet that we had. Cole transitioned pretty early out of his bassinet into the crib because he's such a big boy and he was ready. And I think that my husband's snoring was keeping him up at night. But we had the Halo bassinet. It's a swivel sleeper. You've probably seen it before. I'll insert a picture now so you can see it. It's sort of like a co-sleeper because you can put it right next to your bed. It's mesh on the side so you can see him. I didn't have to get out of bed to nurse him, so it was perfect for us. Unfortunately, like I said, he wasn't in there that long. But by the time we moved him into his crib at 10 weeks, he was really only waking up once or twice a night, and his room is right across the hall from ours, so it wasn't a problem. But I'm telling you, in the newborn phase, when they're still waking up every hour or two to eat, having the baby right next to you is great, and being able to just reach over and get him was wonderful. So I had the Boppy at the foot of the bed, and I had him in the bassinet next to me, and when he'd wake up, I'd just sit up, grab the Boppy, put it on, grab him, nurse him, put him back in the bassinet. It was wonderful. The next thing on the list I don't have with me either, but it's the mamaRoo. We actually ended up borrowing one from a friend and returning it when we didn't need it anymore, but as a newborn, Cole is very needy. He's my first baby, so I don't really know if I can compare him to another child, but he always wanted to be held, even at night. The first 6 weeks of his life, he had to be held. So really, he only slept in his bassinet for a few weeks. Anyway, I couldn't put him down in anything. He didn't like the swing. He didn't want to be put on the floor. He wanted to be held always and bounced. Held and bounced. So we bought a bouncer chair from Target, an automatic bouncer, thinking that might work. He hated it. My husband was going on a trip, and I was going to be alone with him for 3 days, and there's no way I can hold a baby for 3 days solid without putting him down. So out of desperation, I asked my friend if I could borrow her mamaRoo, and she said yes. So I went and got it, and it was wonderful. I mean, you don't leave a baby in something for a very long time, but I could sit him in it long enough to eat or take a shower, and he did great. He thought that the mobile on the mamaRoo was hilarious. I'm gonna insert a clip of him laughing at the mobile. And maybe there's a picture here too where I could put him in the bathroom with me and put him in the mamaRoo, and I could hear him laughing from inside of the shower, and I opened up the shower curtain to see him laughing at the mobile. Okay, we are back to finish our favorites. Cole is joining me because he was getting a little restless playing on his own. So we just finished talking about the mamaRoo. He loved it as a small baby. I was reluctant to register for it because of the price tag. I probably still wouldn't register for it because you just don't know if your baby's going to like it or not. So, but Cole did, and we were very grateful that we could borrow one from a friend, and it was a lifesaver. Next on my list, I have Swaddle Me blankets and the Halo sleep set combo. When Cole was first born, we used these Swaddle Me blankets. They Velcro, and you just stick the baby in. It actually even has this hole so that you can swaddle them in the car seat. The buckle comes up through here, and you can swaddle them inside of the car seat. We actually never did that, but I think some babies might like it. Cole slept really well early on because we swaddled him. These blankets were great for us because we were new parents that didn't know the first thing about swaddling babies, and so we wanted something easy to do in the middle of the night, and these were wonderful. When he grew out of these, we switched to the Halo 2-in-1s where you can swaddle or you can do arms out, and they were great too. But these were the first ones we used, and they were wonderful. I just can't say enough about how swaddling really helped us get some rest. Even as a small baby, he would sleep 3 to 4 hours at a time, which was great for his age. And I attribute a lot of that to the swaddle blankets that we used. I'll try to insert a clip here or a picture of him sleeping in the Halo sack, and I'll also link it at the bottom in case you're curious about those. The next thing I have is the Ergo and infant insert. Like I said, Cole really liked to be held a lot when he was really small, so we tried one trip to the grocery store with him in the stroller inside of his car seat, and he screamed the whole time. So after doing some research online, I read that I should put the Ergo on, like clip it around my waist before I leave to the store, and so then when we get to the grocery store, all I have to do is put him into the Ergo. And that's what we did moving forward, and it worked out great. he normally falls asleep in the Ergo, and we get our shopping done no problem. So we still love the Ergo. It was great for when he was a newborn, and it's still great for us now. So it's definitely, we're getting our money's worth out of the Ergo. Next on my list, I have Pampers Sensitive Wipes. I have a package of them here. We bought the jumbo pack on Amazon for like 20 bucks, and we're still working on them. Cole has very sensitive skin, as I've said in other videos. He has eczema. He gets it from his father. They're just fair skin, sensitive skin people. And the Huggies wipes are just too rough on his bottom. He did get a rash. Ever since we switched to the sensitive wipes, he's done really well. So that brings me to the Desitin. Desitin, just the blue label, is really great for a baby when they get diaper rash. As a new parent, I didn't know a lot about diaper rash, so I would just put a little bit of this on, but I don't even know if it says it on here how to use it. Oh yeah, it does. But I was sleep deprived and we didn't know, so I would put a little bit on and it wasn't helping, and the pediatrician's like, no, you really got to put a lot of it on there and leave it, and in between diaper changes just kind of blot it, and it creates a barrier that helps their skin to heal. But anyway, Destin healed up his bottom really quickly, and we love it, don't we? The next thing on my list is a white noise machine, and we went through a couple. We were using the Moms on Call book to try to get him on a schedule early on, and that's when I realized that newborns just follow their own pattern and not to try to force him into any schedule. But one of the good pieces of advice they gave was to swaddle for bed and to use white noise. So we first tried the Homedics little battery-powered white noise machine, and the batteries would die every night. So my husband's like, you gotta get something that plugs into the wall. So this is one of the top-rated ones on Amazon. It's Marpac Dome Natural White Noise machine, and it plugs into the wall. It looks like this. And I can do a review on it if people want, but it has 2 different volumes. And you can twist the top and the sides to get different sounds and varying levels of volume for whatever works for you. We have it turned all the way up at night. We have a very small house, and this really does mask the noise and allow him to sleep. He does not sleep soundly without it, so I highly recommend that. I don't remember how much we paid for it. Whatever it was worth it, because I think we're going to use this thing for a very long time. It's got a fan inside of it. We looked at some of the others that have projectors and various noises, but we knew that just the white noise is what we needed, and we didn't want a projector in the room. So this works out really well for us. Okay, the very last thing on the list was the Baby Bright Sensor Light by Mighty Bright. This is the next to last. But this is designed specifically for nurseries. It's an LED light. As you can see, there's no bulb inside of it. This is all plastic. There's nothing that can break or fall to harm him. This is a sensor on the front. You can set it to off, on, or auto. So the auto is motion detected, and so I set it on his dresser, and at night when I come in, it detects the motion and it will turn on, and it stays on just long enough for me to pick him up and latch him, and then it goes back off. And it's not a bright light. It's very soft, so it doesn't seem to rouse him enough that it wakes him up completely. I really love this light. I saw it on Lisa Marie TTC's channel. I'll try to link her review of it below if I can. But we love this little light, and we'll probably use it for... We actually lost power one night, and this thing was great for that too, because I just picked it up and we had some light until the power company came around. Alright, the last thing of the must-haves, I do have a few bust items that I wanted to share with you, are these Gerber Colic Soothe... Oh, excuse you. Colic drops. Early on, Cole would eat fine, he would latch fine, but he got to a point where, and he was going to the bathroom fine, but he got to a point where he would draw his legs up when he was nursing, and he would just scream. And so I asked the pediatrician for her recommendation, and she recommended these drops. And what they are probiotics for breastfed babies. Now, I don't know, they probably could work for formula babies too, but the label says for breastfed babies to help the healthy bacteria balance in their digestive system. And it seemed to really clear up his gas and tummy issues. I didn't want to be giving him gas drops all the time, so these you do once at the same time every day. My husband does the first diaper change every morning, so he gives him the drops when he does the diaper change, and he's done really, really well with them. So I highly recommend them. They're kind of expensive. They're $20 a bottle, and the bottle lasts like three weeks, but for us, it's totally worth it to have a baby that's happy and not screaming at us, and he's not in pain. So we really like the Gerber Soothe drops. So as a bonus, I want to talk to you about some items that did not work well for us. I didn't have enough bust items to really make a whole video about them. I just have a few. And these are things that just depend on you and your baby. So like I said earlier, like you just have to see what works for you. But first off, pacifiers of any kind. This child does not like pacifiers. I've tried and tried. We wanted him to take one. We felt like a pacifier would be easier for us to take away from him in the long run than his fingers would be. And we really were hoping that, especially in the newborn phase when they're really cranky, that a pacifier really helps to soothe the baby. But he wouldn't take one, and still to this day, if you put one in his mouth, sometimes he'll gag, but usually he just makes a really sour face. I have a really funny video of that I wanted to share with you, so take a look at this. It's out for me. No? You don't like passies? Okay. The next thing is breast pads. I bought a giant box of breast pads, and I also got several little packages, like samples, for free from the hospital when we did our labor and delivery class. But I never leaked. The only time I have leaked was once when I got a clogged duct, and so we had some leakage then, but I've never really leaked, and apparently some people just don't. So now I have a huge box of breast pads that are just kind of sitting in the nursery that I'll never use. So I wish I would have waited on that, or maybe bought some of the reusable ones. At least then I wouldn't have so much to hold on to. But anyway, so those are a bust for us. And finally, the car seat canopy. Cole doesn't really sleep in his car seat unless he's in the car, and then he sleeps fine without it. And when we put it on the car seat, it kind of gets in the way, and it's sort of annoying, so we just don't really use it. We also have the toy that wraps around the handlebar of the car seat for him to look at, so you can't have one and the other at the same time. And he seems to prefer to like to look at his toys. So that was a bust item for us. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys in our next video. Say bye!